decorate this gender reveal cake with me. So this cake was obviously a surprise for the couple, but we got to know the color before the cake is cut into. And because it was a boy, I dyed the cake blue. This cake was also gluten-free. Yes, I do offer gluten-free cakes, and it was very tasty as well. The parents-to-be wanted a raspberry jam filling, and I did exactly that. So I'm just filling and layering the cakes, making sure to follow a nice and layered approach. Does that even make sense? I'm now doing the crumb coat using the same Swiss meringue buttercream that I used to fill the cake. And after doing the crumb coat, I move on to doing the ganache coat. White chocolate ganache is basically white chocolate and double cream melted together, and you just get deliciousness. After doing a coat of the white chocolate ganache, I tinted the white chocolate ganache white and I got this shade. Look at the silkiness and the smoothness. So with this white chocolate ganache, I'm doing the final coat, making sure to get it as smooth as possible, and smooth I got. Like, just look at it. Very nice, very crisp, and very clean. After letting it set in the fridge, I choose a stencil to use from my stencil collection, and I decided to go with this stencil called Hope, one of my signature stencils, hand drawn by myself. But before I apply the stencil, I'm just dabbing my palette knife on the side of the cake just to get some texture, and I'm adding some more texture now with the stencil. Let's wait for the reveal. Very nice, very pretty. Just to add more texture, I did some more palette knifing and I'm now adding some sprinkles. And after I finish everything off and I'm happy with the texture I have on the cake, I now move on to making the topper. I like to make my toppers myself because it adds that extra uniqueness to my cakes. So when you order a cake with Caketasia, just know that a lot of thought, a lot of love goes into your cake making. The topper now basically gives away the theme of the cake. It's all about bees. But obviously I have to add my own twist, which is why I've done the texture. I'm now adding this gold ribbon, and just look at all my fondant work. Here's the honey pot, and of course it has to have honey inside. Here are the, what do you even call that? Anyways, here are all the stuff that I'll be adding on the cake. Let's now move on to assembling everything on the cake. So starting off with the beehive, and then adding the topper. I applied a kebab stick to the honey pot just to anchor it into place and to give it some extra stability. I'm now doing some drips on the side of the cake to give an illusion of the honey spilling out onto the side. When it comes to arranging everything onto the cake, it's kind of like you just have to trust the process. You have to trust the process, and that's what I was doing here, trying it in places, changing it, and just, seeing what would work out. When I started placing the bees onto the cake, I was just falling more and more and more in love with the cake. The bees are just so cute. And if you thought it couldn't get any better, it is gonna get better. Look, I'm adding like a track for like the bees flying, and I just love the black contrast with the white. I'm just in love. I actually really enjoyed putting this cake together. No artificial flowers, just fondant work, and everything really just paid off. This cake reminds me of the Bible verse Psalm 34 verse 8, which says, "Taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who trusts in him." My relationship with Jesus Christ so far has shown me that Jesus Christ is sweeter than honey. Like, you can never find anything on this earth that will replace the joy, the peace, the happiness that you find inside of him. I always sing to Jesus and tell him that you bring meaning to my soul. You bring meaning to my sanity. With that being said, here is the final product. Now, for those that are interested in learning how to make their own ganache, American and Swiss meringue buttercream, cake recipes, your own toppers, filling and layering a cake, even floral arrangements, I've got that all on my website, caketasia.co.uk, so you can check that out and, shop for classes. Before I go, let me encourage you to get to know Jesus Christ. He has standards that we need to reach, and when we reach those standards by his grace, we can enjoy a beautiful, sweet relationship with him. Thank you for watching.